Camp time, that's what it is. All right, well, appreciate you guys coming out today. Appreciate all you do for us and covering our team. This is the beginning of another season. We're fortunate to be here. We got a really good group of players. We made some strides on defense last year. Really proud of the effort our guys put forward. We returned some really good players: Fanaje Gote, Tarheeb Steele, Bo Bray, Dante Trader. We brought in some good players out of the portal as well. So, we're trending in the right way for far as coming out of the spring into the summer and ready and set to have a prosperous fall camp, staying healthy and getting better and developing. With that, I'll open it up any questions.
We'll start with Dave to your right in the second row.
Brian, welcome, and Dave Preston, WTOP Radio. Second year as the defensive coordinator, even though you were a coach before, even though you've been with this program for a while. What do you feel you can do in year two as far as building what you guys do defensively that maybe you weren't able to do last year?
Well, the first thing is we can give our guys an opportunity to play in the same system they played in the year before, kind of correct the things we didn't do well, enhance the things we did do well, and it's just more confidence when you're able to operate that way. You develop more cohesiveness. It helps to bring the younger players along faster because you have more people in the room, more people on the field that know what's going on, so they can kind of spread their wealth and knowledge to everyone that newcomer, whether it be a guy out of the portal or a freshman coming in. So we look forward to improving on the things we didn't do as well last year, and again enhancing the things we did well.
Back row left, Simon.
I go to Simon Bowles with CTV News. In your opening remarks, you touched on the transfer portal and how you got some great guys. What have you seen from guys like Jaquan Shepard and Devontae Williams that you've liked, and talk about the impact you think they can have on this defense?
Obviously their ability to play the game and their length, their size, the fact that they've done it before. They hadn't done it here, but they've been in programs before and understand how college football works. And then the other thing that's really impressive is their willingness to come and be a part of what we're doing. I think they saw it out there. They saw it from afar, obviously being at other schools. And now they're here, they're indoctrinated themselves and getting into our playbooks, getting into how we go on, dress the field, how we take the field, how we come off the field, just the little things. I think those things go a long way whenever you're bringing players in that have been in other facilities and coached by other coaches. When you bring them into your facility, then their willingness to adapt goes a long way, and those guys have really shown that.
All right, next two questions in the second row to your right.
Hey, Coach, good to see you. Obviously, you mentioned in your opening statement a couple of the linebackers, Fanaje Gote. With the linebackers as a whole, obviously they return a lot of key pieces, and with the defensive line, replacing all three starters, how big is it to kind of have three veterans right behind them?
Yeah, so our linebacker core is the strength of our defense in terms of the experience that they bring back and the talent. Fanaje, Ruben, Jay Sean, Caleb, Jeremy. All those guys have played meaningful snaps and done a really good job, and it helps. It helps for them to be able to, again, come back and play in the same system. They're more confident in recognizing formations, and, they're the quarterback of the defense. So they have to get us lined up. They have to make sure guys are, doing the things they need to do pre-snap, and they do that in front of them as well as behind, because they see it the most, and they're the guys we lean on for that. So we're very fortunate to have this group coming back this year.
On the other end of that experience, you have some freshmen coming in on the defense, some highly touted freshmen, especially at that linebacker position. Do you anticipate that we'll be seeing some of those freshmen earlier in the season playing meaningful roles, or is that something maybe you have to see a little bit more development?
Yeah, it goes back to the development. When you get guys in early in the spring, it's good, but the way Coach Locke's structures our practice regimen and how we go about getting reps, I think it gives guys a chance to develop first on special teams, really getting a chance to make the bus in that regard, and then the fact that we feel good about our leadership that we have spread out amongst the team. That also helps guys come in, because now in this day and age, guys coming in, the term red shirt is hardly ever used. So everyone is accountable, everyone is accounted for, And the more guys show that they can be trusted and they prove that, the more we'll give them an opportunity to play.
Front row, Wayne.
Coach, there's a good possibility that the 5 defensive backs that stayed on the field most of last year are all going to end up in the NFL. What makes this such a great place to be a defensive back?
Well, for one, we got really good coaches. Coach Baker does a really good job with our corners. We got Coach Spavital here now coaching our safeties. And then the fact that I think we play multiple coverages. We play press man on the outside. We play off man. We play every zone on the man. We play a lot of man coverages, and we mix it up. So it gives our guys a chance to, show their abilities doing different schemes and techniques. And then, just the level of accountability we hold in that position. We depend on those guys. We obviously have to play against really good players in this league. So when they get a chance to go out and do a good job against them, then it obviously boasts their ability to impress the next level. And we've been fortunate to have good players here. Very proud of the guys that we had last year that moved on, and Bennett and Banks. And so now we got the uphill battle of trying to replace their efforts this year, and I feel good about it.
To your left, Gene.
Gene Wong, Washington Post. Brian, with Coach Loxley having put out there it's time to compete for Big Ten championships, what can you do to reinforce some habits for your players to help you guys get there?
It's a day-to-day deal. You use the right word when you said habits. Goals are one thing, but if your habits don't reflect the goals, then they're just words. Everybody has the goal of winning championships. I think Coach's message in that is we're exhibiting the right behaviors every day. We have the right leadership now that equals to those things happening for us, as long as we put ourselves in position with the right habits on a day in, day out basis. And as a defensive coordinator, assistant coach, I'm no different. I have to exemplify the right habits as a coach, and making sure that we hold our guys accountable to that every day.
Front row left, Scott.
Hey, how's it going? Scott Green, Rivals.com. You touched on some of the newcomers, like Williams and Jaquan, coming from some FBS programs, but you say look at a guy like Donnell Brown, coming from the FCS level. What's the adjustment like, and what are kind of the expectations for a guy like that?
Donnell did a really good job prior to getting here, and he's done a really good job in the off season, in the summertime, really coming in and again being one of those guys that has adapted and really bought into the little minute things that we do on a day-to-day basis for success. And as long as he continues along those trends, his talent, his ability to use his length, his suddenness, all those things come into play. But the biggest thing is knowing what to do, how to do it, and why it's important. He's taking those things serious, and he's going to put himself in a position to really help us.
To your right, Ahmed.
And kind of drilling into your position specifically, obviously we talked about, just Tommy A, Tyze Johnson, but those guys coming back. But just with, with the portal additions that you mentioned, Trey Colbert and then Jordan Phillips, just kind of curious, with those guys getting here in January, how do you feel like maybe they've kind of both assimilated, maybe on the field through workouts and whatnot, but then you touched about on leaders. I'm kind of curious, if you feel like Jordan Phillips is kind of early on taking on that role.
Absolutely. Jordan has a lot of leadership qualities. He works extremely hard, and I think that's the first thing. When guys see a guy come in, adapt to how we're doing things, and then apply his work ethic to it, and he's not afraid to let guys know when they're not getting it done, and then at the same time, if someone sees him not getting it done, and he takes it. So trust is built, and when that happens, it happens fast for a guy, for us with a guy like Jordan, because he's come in and bought in. Trey got here this summer. He's a fifth-year guy, senior, understands it, and he's very appreciative for being here, and he's a hard worker as well. So biggest thing, again, all these guys have come in and earned the trust of their peers, earned the trust of our team, and we're believing in them now, and we're just ready to roll.
In the back left, Elizabeth.
Alyssa Mir, UMTerps.com. You mentioned the DBs earlier, bringing back Tariq, Bo, Dante, who've all played a ton of football here. How much does it help your defense having them as kind of the nucleus of the secondary this year?
Goes a long way. Those guys have seen it a million times. We bring in some really young freshmen that are athletic, that are doing it for the first time. So you know, they can shed their light and their knowledge on those guys tenfold, and they don't have a problem doing it. They're good players, they're good people, and they believe in what we're doing. And anytime, you know, the speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leaders. So we're going to go as fast and hard as they go, and we're going to believe in them and trust in that they'll continue to do the things they've been doing. So we're very fortunate to have those guys back.
Any more questions for Coach Williams? All right. Thank you, Coach, for the time.
Thank y'all.